tape and everything. Why don't you start, Mr. Brooks? Unless you did 4 other shows this morning that we should know about.
He just did one by himself. He went 45 minutes solo.
Yeah.
Well, he's fresh off of that. Then we shouldn't waste any more time to capitalize on it.
Get him while he's hot.
No break. Yeah, no breaks or anything, man. I just
went hot hand. Boom, boom, boom.
I just went through it, man.
Camera's not fixed. It's a backup. Go ahead, Barrett.
I broke. I just talked about the draft, man. How I thought I went. Because this is a weird draft, man. Because can you imagine being a GM and not seeing these guys at the combine, not seeing these guys even play for an entire year, and you have to make an accurate assessment off just a pro day workout? That's got to be the hardest thing. I've seen a GM have to go out there and do. So you got athletes out there that that opted out, and some guys use it to their advantage. A guy like Jamar Chase. Chase took it to another level. Nobody thought he was going to run a 4.3. He ran a 4.3, gained like maybe 10 pounds worth of muscle, knows how to run routes better than he did even in college, and he was already a beast. He was better than Jefferson. And you saw what Jefferson did in the league this year. Imagine this kid that's had an entire year to work out, run routes, learn from elite level coaches how to play the game.
Devonta Smith?
Huh?
You're talking about Devonta Smith?
No, I'm talking about Jamar Chase.
Oh, okay.
Even him. You look at what the Eagles did. That's really, I'm so shocked. I'm not taking everything I said back about Howie, but I will say this. He understands that he had to learn. There's a process in being a draft guru. There's a process in which you have to listen, take a little bit from here, take a little bit from there. Don't deviate from your draft board. And that's what he did.
Maybe. I don't know. He moved
for this draft pick?
He moved back to move back up.
Yes, but still.
But he got an extra first-round pick. He played the board really well. All he had to do was give up a third-round pick to move up and get the guy that they wanted. Now, granted,
That's not the guy that they wanted, in my opinion.
What do you mean it's not the guy that they wanted?
The consolation prize is that they saw a run on positions and they had to move up because he misread the board at 12, thinking that one of those 4 guys would be available at least at 12. And instead, he had to move back up. He could have stayed at 5. Look, I'll let you go, Harry, but I disagree with you guys that he
at 6. They were at 6.
No, but I'm saying he could have gone to 5 and even moved up, seeing that the big thing was 4. Once Kyle Pitts was at 4. But go ahead.
I disagree also.
No, I know you guys do, but that's fine.
I do.
I love
disagree.
Smith.
The fact that Carolina took a cornerback, I think, sent the board into a different like avenue. I didn't expect that.
Exactly.
And once Rule took the corner, then there was the run on the corner, and then Surtain goes next, and I think that made you go, maybe it's Plan B. I don't know, but they definitely wanted this guy in their offense, and they needed him in their offense. So they gained a first-round pick. They got a player that's going to contribute from day one. Can he get off press coverage at this level? I don't know. I hope so. I hope he can put on another 15 pounds of muscle too, in the next couple of months. But he's a really good player. The Giants did well. The Cowboys did well. The division, the Redskins or the Washington football team did well. The whole division got better.
Giants did too.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. The Giants. You knew the Giants were going to take Devonta Smith because what did they do?
They traded him out immediately.
They traded out the pick, and then they went and got a receiver,
Tony,
and Kadarius Toney,
who doesn't have great hands. He's a great skill guy, but his hands aren't great.
And that's what you get for Devonta Smith.
Yeah, but you're also looking at it where I think that you could have traded back and taken advantage of a couple of things. Like draft night, he could have taken advantage, but instead he panicked and moved up to grab one of the 4 guys that we were all associating with this team because the other 3 were already gone, including, mind you, Jalen Waddle, who was right there for the Philadelphia Eagles if they remained at 6. Mm-hmm. But my point being in this is, we'll break in a second here. My point being in all of this is it's not a knock on Smith by any means. I like the pick, but at 12, where they were from 12 to then back up to 10, there was movement as a result. It triggered it. And I think they could have taken advantage of Justin Fields dropping like we saw the Giants do with the Chicago Bears. And if we saw the Giants do exactly what the Eagles do, then I don't think we're complaining about the kid the Giants drafted where the Eagles took advantage of getting maybe another first or a second round pick.
JAKIB Media.
What was that?
I don't think they would have got a receiver, though.
Not sure.
Well, same kid the Giants.
The Middle starts now on the Sportsman Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eitan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Welcome in Friday, Football Friday here, as things started to heat up. As soon as we saw some odds come out in the afternoon shift drastically I sent you guys that, got the inside info there. Trey Lance taken third, not Fields, not Mac Jones. Then we saw the run on wide receivers. We saw a couple of corners go in the top 10, all the way down to 10, which was the Philadelphia Eagles, who jump back into the top 10 technically and draft Devonta Smith, where I think the pick, as we talked about really for a couple of days leading up, if it was going to be one of the four in Smith, Waddle, Surtain, or Horn, the city's generally going to accept it. Didn't have to worry about a lineman, didn't have to worry about trading back, but there were some factors involved in the draft last night beyond even the Eagles trade that were kind of wacky. Mm-hmm. And poor Justin Fields, his career's over before it even begins.
He went to where quarterbacks die, right? That's immediately what I thought of. This poor guy, and he didn't even look all that like elated in his room, wherever he was back at his house or wherever he was watching the draft. He didn't look that excited.
Would you be? If you knew you had to go to radio version of Chicago as a host, you're out in Des Moines.
No, I wouldn't want that. It's too much snow.
Yeah, he's hating. He's hating to do it to us right now, but that's what it is. Look, Eitan, at this point, we wouldn't. If we'd have stayed at pick number 6, we wouldn't have got a receiver.
Well, they could have gotten Waddle.
Could have got Jalen Waddle,
but you wouldn't have the extra first round pick next year.
Right. We wouldn't even got Waddle. We wouldn't want Waddle. They wouldn't have got Waddle. At that point, you still had Penei Sewell, Patrick Surtain. They would have got one of those guys.
Okay. I'm not knocking that either. But that's the thing is you're going to give and take a little bit, and there are still some question marks surrounding Devonta Smith that need to come out and be proven that will be attached to trading back. And you know how we do here, where we look at Jalen Waddle, we'll look at Surtain, we'll look at guys who were available.
We'll look at Fields. If Fields comes on and just goes great guns in Chicago, Eagles could have had him. That's what the draft is all about.
It's not even Monday. Friday morning, you're going to start that. At least Barrett didn't start the quarterback controversy. Quarterback controversy.
We could have had a franchise quarterback.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting is now the CSB Media Arts Center, training in all that is media, including the nation's most successful broadcast training program with professional media experts whose entire mission is to get you career ready. In just 8 or 16 weeks, train on-site and online at our local campus in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. VA approved. CSB Media Arts Center. Visit gocsb.com.
The Middle.
You can't have pigs in a blanket followed up by filet mignon, followed up by peach cobbler. It's too much. It's too out of control.
Are you kidding me?
There needs to be a sense of chocolate.
I don't know who this person is.
Filet mignon with Crown Royale.
Vanilla ice cream and apple pie? You might as well just kick somebody in the groin.
The Middle with Eitan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? check out Book It Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the Book It Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the Book It Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on hold.
What happened there? Oh, that's why. Short break. Thanks to everybody. Birdman, 91.
Yeah. 91 LSXers, too.
No, that's what I was saying. 91. Yeah,
Birdman 990.
Good morning, Mom. Good morning,
Birdman
Mom.
990 new?
Birdman's been around for a little bit.
Okay.
Not brand new.
Occam's Truth and Wisdom looks new. Occam's Razor?
Yep.
Is that what that is?
Yep. Yeah. That's a good application. Occam was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Boy.
So how was the party last night, Eitan, over at Ramblewood?
It was awesome. It was a Jaws. I mean, I wasn't like a part of it. I just did the show there in a back room.
This is the middle.
But Jaws,
on the
man,
Sports
Jaws does it up.
Network.
Oh yeah.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from
He's on at those events too, man.
Amazing.
Here's
Yeah.
Tom Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, we're back on the network here, live on the stream, the JAKIB Media YouTube page, phillyvoice.com/the middle, and back with Ron Culver and company on Sports Map Radio. And look, I guess here's where I'll say Barrett in the beginning of the program at the top of the hour was just at that point of actually taking back all of the things that he said about Howie Roseman because of one thing. And here's what I'm saying. AJB put it in, and I think good context here, Barrett. All right. He's mad that Howie didn't screw it up. And I get the joke of it here, but let's look at the truth of it. Just because he didn't screw it up doesn't mean he should be rewarded. And I feel like
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay, fair. Okay. And thank you for correcting that because I didn't want to put anything out there that wasn't attached to you or anyone else. But I feel like because he traded up and only gave up a third round, and I hate that phrase because third rounders should play, not the kids.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
But they had two of them.
Currency.
They still have a third rounder.
Yes, and they still have a lot of holes, and I'd like them to address that. But my point
is that the Colts third rounder?
From the Wentz trade?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Roseman does not have a fantastic draft track record, and just adding another draft pick to his arsenal doesn't mean that he's automatically going to get it. And look, as a result, I think the means ultimately justify the end. I get it in that they got Devonta Smith, but look at how they got. We all thought, hey, if you have one or three of these guys on the board, you take whoever it is at 12. He misread it. He thought that one of those four guys would be there at 12, and he could have then even used chip or leverage to trade back if somebody slipped, like Mac Jones or Justin Fields.
Well, they didn't want Mac Jones.
No. I know. I'm saying trade out of that pick, right? Instead of let Devonta Smith go at that point and trade back with Chicago or something along those lines. Now, all I'm saying is for a guy who is being heralded as a master up and down the draft board, it looked like he overshot and then realized he had to compensate at the end. I still love the pick, but I'm not patting Howie Roseman on the back today.
Well, I mean, one thing this draft told us is that this is Jalen Hurts' team right now, like because they passed on Fields. Okay, so that's one thing that last night showed you. The other one is that they probably would have taken, because I said this last night when I went live with Krause, it would have been really interesting to see what they would have done had Horn or Smith both been on the board at 12 when they picked. Just because that really would have showed you, what they wanted. Defense, offense, cornerback or wide receiver. That would have told you everything. The fact that Horn and Surtain were both gone, I think, they made the right move after those guys were gone.
Well, yeah, but still, though, in A-Town, that's what we're trying to say. We're trying to say that, all right, they saw a pattern coming, and when they saw the pattern, they were able to execute something to get something. And we hadn't seen that. We've seen them execute something to get nothing, and then they're twice as bad as what they were when they started off trying to do something.
So it's like, are they better with Devonta Smith and an extra first-round pick for next season rather than having a Surtain or a Horn or a Waddle and no extra first-round pick? That's really what it looks like.
Harry,
okay, hold on a second. Would the Seahawks be better with DK Metcalf, or would they be better with JJ Arcega-Whiteside and an extra first-round pick?
You're right about that. You never get we understand that.
We now see that they drafted the wrong player, and we'll see about Devonta Smith.
So there is an unnecessary tag of pressure that has been added to Devonta Smith by Howie Roseman because of his failure to kind of maneuver and having to overreact. And
no doubt. And I think that goes for basically any player they would have drafted last night.
Okay. Yes. I mean, and that's it right there. He has right now, Devonta Smith has a load that he has to carry that's almost unfair. Like he has is it Adonis has a world on his shoulder like this? Atlas. Yeah. Well, he's Atlas right now because of Howie Roseman's transgressions from the past couple of drafts.
Well, you want to talk about Atlas? Think about the poor kid in New York with the Jets. Think about what he's up against, or Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. I mean, the list goes on and on.
I just locked in quarterback interceptions over 13.5 for Wilson this year.
For Wilson?
Yeah. He's going to be throwing a lot. No, look, I mean, Lawrence, Wilson, and I guess the big, not surprise so much, but the big pick now is Trey Lance. Like, how do you sit Trey Lance when you've moved up?
Got to play.
Draft him at 3, right?
Yeah. He's got to get ready and play.
Does that mean that
we were right about that? We knew
get rid of Garoppolo.
They didn't go up to 3 to take Mac Jones. I wasn't believing that for 1 second.
It was more about Fields as well, how it wasn't going to be Fields. And then because remember, yesterday I said we were going back and forth, and that's where I thought the heavy money was going to be on Mac Jones because they traded up when he was at his hottest point. And the only other quarterback they worked out was Trey Lance. So it made sense at the end of the day that they would take the only other quarterback that they at least showed physical, like public interest in, was my point.
Right.
Slipping that far was a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
To me, it was. Yeah.
But I also look at this draft, man, and it kind of guaranteed that my premonition was right, that Wilson will suck. I'm telling you right now, Wilson's going to suck.
Wait, how did the draft prove that?
Douglas' evaluation of him was wrong. I just said it right now. Wait till 2 or 3 years from now. You're going to see that.
Well, what's making you say that?
Because I thought he was. I didn't see him as the top 2 quarterback in the draft.
But we knew they were going to take him like long before last night.
And I kept saying it was a travesty to put that kid in that type of position when he's not going to be able to live up to the expectations that they want there with the Jets. He's not going to be able to do it. He's not that type of quarterback. He is a movement quarterback. He's not a drop back guy. He doesn't know how to do it. You know what I mean? He's going to me, I'm honestly going to say he's going to be the bad aspect of Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz holds the ball and gets sacked, the start of his career is going to end up being just like that, and it's going to kind of put him in a position where, like, all right, I don't know if I even belong to being a quarterback. At this point, yeah, it's going to be tough on him because he wants to make the big play all the time. And we know Carson. He wanted to make the big play all the time.
The guy with the hottest mom, you just scorched him.
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, Jesus,
he was making big plays before he got hurt. That knee injury more so than anything. I mean. I don't know.
Man.
Zach Wilson to be that far off.
Live to die. Live. You got to live, man. You got to make sure that you can get up and go to work the next day. If he continues to hold the ball like he holds the ball, he won't last long in this league at all.
Man, I saw that one throw that he made, apparently, that lit everybody on fire at his pro day, and I rewound it. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, that was amazing.
What was that?
No, I'm with you. This would be a pretty
accurate
surprise.
Yeah.
If he fell off. Like, Fields, I expect to never hear from again.
Really? Just because of where he went?
It's just a bad team. We don't talk about quarterbacks in Chicago.
No.
Even Rex Grossman or Jay Cutler. Cutler was better on outside of Chicago,
right?
Like a personality. He was,
nothing's going to replace smoking Jay Cutler.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
It was like a negative. Like everybody hated and railed on Cutler, and everybody made excuses for the team outside of Grossman. I feel like Fields is unfortunately going to fall off the face of the earth, and Wilson, according to Barrett now, if we saw that, remember, this was a quarterback-heavy first round at least, and for two of these kids, maybe three, Mac Jones. I mean, who the hell knows what's going to happen to Mac Jones in New England?
Right.
They share.
Safe assumption that he's not going to pan out right away either.
But they didn't have to trade up to get him. He fell right in their lap.
Well, look at this, fellas. At this point, Pace and Nagy are like this. We've got our job at least for the next 2.5 years.
Exactly.
That's what they're saying right now. They're not worried about if he can play or not. We got a job for the next 2.5, 3 years.
You know, trading up twice in drafts, to take quarterbacks that the previous one failed. You usually don't see a general manager being able to stick around and do something like that.
So Trubisky, they moved up all that. They moved up all the way up in the draft to get Trubisky. And where's he at? A second-team quarterback. In Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, and look, we'll probably be talking about Justin Fields the same way. That's what happens in Chicago, man. And it's
I hope not. I hope the guy succeeds.
Look, I'm not rooting against him. I'm just trying to present the history here, which is it's very difficult to play well, especially as you get deeper into the season. And then all of a sudden you have right. You have to deal with the wind. It's just tough. It's tough to throw the ball there, and it's not a home field advantage. It's clearly not a home field advantage, right? You would think at some point somebody would be able to figure this. Maybe Justin Fields is just smarter than everybody else, and it's probably true, right? I mean, he comes in here and he's like, all right, I'm going to take what Sid Luckman did. I'm going to take what Rex Grossman did. I'm going to take what Cutler did, all the good stuff, and put
throw in a little Bobby Douglas, too.
Yeah, right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, can you believe, man? I'm watching that draft, man, and and look at the dress, man. Did Kyle Pitts look like he was from Philly or what?
Bro, what was
money
up?
Green suit?
Yeah, but what was up with those suits? I mean, those suits with the stripe on the pants. These guys look like they. I was waiting for him to whip out a trombone and start dancing with the high school band.
Harry, you know what I was thinking?
What's up with that look?
I was looking like this. We all see it.
Right. Don't say anything. We see it.
Green.
There's a stripe on his pants.
Stripe. We all see it.
It out, man.
Got a stripe on his pants.
After the NBA draft, I don't know how you keep looking at it, right?
I tell you. I thought Devonta Smith looked sharp.
Yeah.
Well,
he looks sharp.
Kyle Pitts still needs to own up for his ridiculous assessment that went viral on cheesesteaks.
Oh, the cheesesteak thing.
Yeah. I'm just shocked he didn't call it a steak and cheese after that assessment.
When I first got to Philly, right, I didn't know anything, right, about cheesesteaks and all that stuff. When I first got to Philly, I went to Tony Luke's. I said, "Yeah, can I get a steak-'em with cheese?" Oh my God, it's like they took the record and scratched.
Yeah, you should have been sent out in the street for that.
And
look, big man, go to the back of the line.
And you're not from here, though, right?
That's outrageous.
No,
at least somebody would be like, "Hey, he's not from here. He's brand new." Like,
people took you in there. Did you have it like an ambassador to bring you in there from Philly that should have showed you the ropes?
Your boy set me up because I stayed in the same building. Charlie Garner, man. He knew it too. So when he brought me in, he said, "All right, go ahead." I said, "Hey, man, let's go get one of those steakums." They say you got to get a steakum, He said, "Oh yeah, it's a steakum. It's a steakum."
It's not like Kyle Pitts.
He said, "Oh yeah, it's a steakum." So we go there, right? And he goes up and says, "Hey, go ahead and order me one too." And he walks away. I'm like,
he set you up.
He totally set me up. I look over him and he is cracking up over in the corner. And it was there back then, Tony Luke was there at the time. He just so happened to be there. He's like,
right.
He's like, Eagles drafted this guy.
Yeah.
This is who they draft.
I thought these O linemen were smart.
Seriously, man. All right, we got to take a quick one. More on the draft coming up. It's The Middle, JAKIB Media YouTube page, phillyvoice.com/The Middle, and Sports Map Radio.
Missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel? Listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.